Hey guys, this is Kevin from JazTime.com, and today we'll be doing a comparison between the Rolex GMT-Master II, here located on the left, reference number 116710 BLNR, versus the Rolex Air King, here on my right, reference number 116900. We'll be going over the pricings, the dials, bezels, case, crown, bracelet, clasp, and we'll talk about the movement towards the end of the video. Okay, so as of January 2018, you can get the GMT-Master II at an authorized Rolex retailer for $8,950 plus tax. Or you can get the Air King for $6,200 plus tax. Of course, here at JazTime.com, we always strive to have the lowest prices anywhere online, so give our website a thorough look through before you move forward with your purchase. Alright, so let's go ahead and move on to the dials now. So for the dials of the watch, the Rolex GMT-Master II shows a more sportier style dial, which is dials used in the Submariner, the Submariner Deep Sea, the Sea Dweller, which is the maxi style dial, which is the circular hour markers with an index at the 6 and 9 o'clock position with a triangular 12 o'clock position. The Air King has a similar triangular 12 o'clock position marker. However, it has Arabic 3, 6, 9 and a 60 minute scale starting from the 5 to the 55. And that's the reason for that style of dial, as you won't see it on any other Rolex watch. So it's a very unique style dial. And the reason for this style dial is actually Rolex had a hand in a special project in 2006 called the Bloodhound SSC project, which was an engineering project to get a supersonic car to reach the speed of 1,000 miles per hour on land. And this is one of the instruments on board on the dash. So they made it something reminiscent of that, which is kind of silly for the contradictory name of the Air King, which was mainly used for more navigational for people who flew airplanes and such. But besides that, other differences in the dial, we're looking at the Rolex name in green with a green second hand for the Air King. The crown actually colored in a nice yellow, whereas the GMT Master has just plain white text as other Rolex sports pieces. However, the GMT of course has a GMT Hand, which is located in this nice highlighted blue with a triangular tip, and that helps track an additional time zone. Specifically, one thing about the Air King is that the Air King used to have the Air King model name at the 12 o'clock position. However, they moved it down to the 6 o'clock position in unison with the other Rolex sports pieces, such as the GMT-Master II has the name of the 6 o'clock position, and that'll be the same for the Submariner Deep Sea and such. Okay, the readability of the watch is going to be different for both watches. The GMT-Master II has probably the most readability, as you can tell that all the hour markers are nice and filled in with a highly legible chroma-light display, which is a long-lasting blue luminescence, and that's for the Mercedes hour hand and the minute hand, as well as the triangular tip on the GMT hand, and that's a long-lasting blue luminescence that will glow for up to 8 hours. Whereas the only landmark you have on the Air King is at the 12 o'clock position. You have that triangular 12. And just the Mercedes hour hand and the minute hand having that luminous tip, with the second hand having that small luminous dot as well. Besides that, the GMT has additional complication, of course, the date window at the 3 o'clock position with a Cyclops lens on top of that sapphire crystal. As you can see, the tiny bit of protrusion from that sapphire crystal, and that magnifies the date for easier viewing of it. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the bezel now. So the bezels of the watches, the GMT-Master II has a bidirectional rotatable 24-hour graduated bezel, and it actually gets a nickname because of the colors of the color of the bezel being a two-tone black and blue, and the nickname for this watch is the GMT Batman. Since it has that sort of Batman color scheme. For the Air King, it just has a very simple, smooth bezel, nicely high polished to bring more shine to the face of the watch in comparison with the high polished 3, 6, and 9 numerals on the dial. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the case now. So the case sizes of the watches are going to be the same, so 40 millimeter cases. So from my index finger to my thumb, 40 millimeters in diameter. Same for the Air King, 40 millimeters in diameter from my index finger to my thumb. It's going to have nice satin finish on both parts of the watch, on the lugs of the watch and on the buttons of the watch. The GMT-Master II is more of a sort of a hybrid between a sports watch and a dress watch. As you can see, starting from the middle of the lugs, you can see a nice high polish that starts off the tops of the bracelet, whereas the Air King keeps a nice satin finish throughout the whole case, as you can see. On the sides of the case, however, different story. We have high polish on both sides of the case that pattern very nicely with the sides of the bracelet. The Air King surprisingly has a larger case size, being at the 13 millimeter thickness of for the case size, larger than the GMT too. And you're probably wondering, well, why does the Air King have a larger case size than GMT-Master II? GMT-Master II has the additional complications on its movement, the date, the extra GMT hand for the extra time zone, the quick hour jump system on its hour hand, which I'll show you in a second. Well, that's because the Air King is very similar and reminiscent of the Milgauss casing, which is a two-style type of casing, where the movement is actually housed in its own casing, and then we have the normal casing on top of that. And that was made for protection against magnetism, extra additional resistance against magnetism, as the Milgauss was made for scientists who worked around radios and such, and they needed that extra resistance against magnetism to have the most precise timekeeping. And that same function or mechanic was brought into the Air King casing, and so it uses a similar style of casing as well, so it has the same magnetic resistance as the Milgauss. So let's go ahead and move on to the crowns now. So the crown in the GMT-Master II, you can tell, a little bit thicker to match the case size, also to match the protecting crown guards on it as well. Nice rigidness for easy gripping of that crown. That's for both crowns as well. The GMT-Master II's crown is a trip lock, triple water, screw down trip lock, triple waterproofness system, and it simply unwinds counterclockwise as shown. Okay. And that crown being a screw-down crown actually helps this watch keep a water resistance of 100 meters to 330 feet. Actually, both of these watches have the same water resistance, that 100 meters to 330 feet. So for the GMT-Master II, the standard position is going to be the winding position for the watch. Basically, what that means is that from a dead stop, when the watch is not running, you can wind the watch 15 to 20 times to get it started once more, and that's from a dead stop, and it'll get the watch running again. A simple tugging of the crown will allow for the quick hour jump system, as you can see. Very nice, simple, easy use of that hour hand, just jumping to each hour marker, as the name states, quick hour jump system. The reason for that is because it allows for easier changing of the time zones. And what I mean by that is that once we pull the crown out to the final position, you can adjust the GMT hand. The example I like to use is from London to Philippines is about 7 hours ahead. So let's just say you want to set your home time to the Philippine or to your London time. So it's 12:10. We'll just say it's 12:10. But your hour hand's all the way over here to the left. All you got to do, just pull it out to the quick hour jump system. Count that 7 hours ahead. 7:10. And there we are. We have that 7:10 where you're currently at in the Philippines, while the London time is 12:10. Okay. So very simple, nice, easy feature to use. Of course, you can also track additional time zone using the bezel, as the bezel is a 24-hour graduated scale. So you can move the bezel however you like to track that additional time zone as well. Okay, so always make sure screw the crown nice and tight in against the case, as that will start the second hand once more. As you can see, the second hand is currently moving again. That will keep the watch, the crown nice and protected between the crown guards, and also keeping that water resistance. For the Air King, same thing, unwinds counterclockwise. However, this is a screw down twin lock double waterproofness system. This crown only has two functions. The standard position, in which we are in now, is to wind the watch, just as the GMT, and of course the final position, stopping the second hand, precise time setting, and adjusting the time however you like. Okay. Same warning, always make sure screw the crown nice and tight in against the case. Alright, so let's go ahead and compare the bracelets now. So for the bracelets, we have similar style bracelets, which is the Oyster link bracelet, which is a 3-piece link bracelet. Once again, as I mentioned, the GMT2 is more of a hybrid watch between a sports and a dress watch. And once again, that's shown by the nice high polish that travels nicely throughout the whole bracelet, contrasting with the satin finish on the outer edges of the 3-piece links. Whereas the Air King, you can see, is just all satin finish, all nice brushed steel there. The clasp styles are going to be different. The GMT-Master II has a safety folding Oyster clasp. As you can see by the Rolex crown, you can actually tug that and pull that upwards, and that's actually the safety portion of the clasp that allows for more safety, as the name states, on the folding Oyster, as you can see. Whereas the Air King is just a simple opening of the folding Oyster, as shown. It will reveal these nicely high polished clasp blades with the Rolex name embossed onto the clasp blade itself. Okay, and let me go ahead and close these up. And onto the bottom portion of the bracelet, we see nice continuity of it as well. Nice sand finish for the Air King. Nice high polish on the center of the GMT-Master II. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the movements of these watches. So for the GMT-Master II, you're looking at, of course, a GMT style movement, which is Rolex's in-house made caliber 3186 movement. It is a perpetual mechanical self-winding movement with the Swiss certification of the -2 + 2 seconds a day. The functions of the center, hour, minute, and seconds hand with the additional GMT hand stopping the seconds hand for precise time setting. The date is actually changed by the hour hand itself. It has to do 2 revolutions around the dial in order to change the date once. The oscillator for this watch is a paramagnetic blue parachrome hairspring, meaning it has an additional resistance against magnetism. And the power reserve of this watch is 48 hours, so meaning you can put this watch out on a Friday evening, pick it back up on a Sunday afternoon, it'll be keeping time just fine. Moving on to the Air King now. The Air King, as I've said before, with the size of the case, is actually very reminiscent of the Milgauss, almost the exact same, as it uses the same Milgauss movement as well, which is a 3131 movement. It's still a perpetual mechanical self-winding movement with a magnetic shield. As I mentioned before, the movement itself is housed in an additional casing to protect the movement from magnetism. And that's paired along with the same oscillator as the GMT-Master II, the paramagnetic blue parachrome hairspring, and still has a simple function as the center, hour, minute, and seconds hand, and stopping in the seconds for precise time setting. Still under Swiss specs certification, which is -2 + 2 seconds a day. Same power reserve as well, looking at a 48-hour power reserve. So put this watch out on a Friday evening, pick it back up on a Sunday afternoon, and it'll be keeping time just fine. Alright, so let me actually go ahead and show you these watches on my wrist now. So starting with the GMT-Master II, once again, safety off, folding open, and there we are. So there's the GMT-Master II. See, absolutely gorgeous use of the high polish against that satin finish on the outer edges of the links. Brings a nice shine to the watch. That bezel being absolutely unique with that two-tone, the half black, half blue. Once again, that nickname is the Batman. Okay, now for the Explorer, or apologize, not the Explorer, but the Air King. So the Air King, folding Oyster, nice, easy to put on. Nice satin finish throughout the whole watch. Only using high polish when it needs to, and that's definitely on the bezel. That bezel high polish bring more shine to the watch in comparison with the 369 numerals that are made of 18 karat white gold. And also a unique dial structure being that 60-minute scale starting from the 5 to the 55 with a triangular 12. Okay, so if you're interested in any of these watches, so for the lowest possible price, check out our website, JazTime.com. We have the lowest prices guaranteed. We offer a 1-year warranty, and if you like the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys soon.
If you want to find out more about the watch you just saw in the video, you can just click below on Show More to see the full description. Then you can check the link next to model as seen in video, click on it, and you will get to the proper page where you can see all the details. If you're watching on a mobile phone, you have to click on the arrow down on the right hand side below the video to see the full description. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you would like to share this video with your friends, you can use the share button below and share it on any platform you like. If you have questions, constructive feedback, want to tell us about some mistakes or misspeaks, just write a comment below. If you want to see more videos like this, you should subscribe to our channel and visit our channel page where you can find all the videos. And if you're interested in a specific watch brand, you can check out our playlists. If you want to check the price for a watch or want to buy one, remember at JazTime.com you always get a steep discount, so you should check the prices with us. If you want to know the price for a specific watch, just go to Google, type in JazTime, plus the brand, model and the details you're interested in, and Google will find the right page for you. Thank you for watching.